Good evening and welcome to the Reality After Show, the new branding and new name of Reality NSFW. And as it happened this week on Big Brother 24, our Big Brother podcasting crew has split in two. Brent and Bobby, through work and technical issues, have been sent out into probably a better place than here. But you're stuck with me. I'm Alex Rubino, your host and the only one here tonight. And wow, what a 2 hours of nothing we got. That was utterly pitiful. And throughout the night, anyone in the comments, talk to me, give me questions, give me anything to talk about, because this episode clearly did not. But wow, we made it to jury. We lost Indy, we've made it to jury, and here we are at what will be the weirdest week of Big Brother we may ever get. But to start us off, Julie opens us up. We get a live studio audience for the first time in 3 years. Not sure why they started there, but it really started the nonsense train that we were on tonight. It felt fitting that, we don't feel comfortable enough to have a live studio audience at the beginning of the season. But when nothing changes and in a way things get worse in the real world, we'll have a live studio audience once jury starts where they also can't say anything. Okay, sure. It's day 44, and the next 2 hours were supposed to be the biggest and most action-packed eviction night ever. But as we know, with the way Julie talks about her husband and the things he apparently did not do to get him fired as president of CBS, she's a liar. She lied to us. I didn't believe her, but I didn't think she was stretching the truth this much. This was pitiful. This was one of the worst 2-hour episodes of Big Brother ever, maybe the worst, and one of the worst episodes of Big Brother we've had. It had good content, but boy, did they drag out what could have been a decent 1-hour episode into 2 hours of nothing, of painful, boring, dragged out nothing. So much nonsense tonight that just was not needed. It played no benefit to the show. And then we end, and okay, we're not even going to tell you who the teams are in this split house because we ran out of time with filler. It was the filler episode of filler episodes, maybe even more than the preview, than the recap of the recap. But, it's Big Brother. I'm still happy to have it. And this season, not what we're being shown in this episode, is still pretty damn good. It's amazing. It really is. So they knew they needed to milk everything out when we not only don't get the veto ceremony in the previous episode, we don't even get half the conversation after the veto competition. So we start here. And we start with actually some interesting gameplay. Michael going to Kyle, saying that Taylor's targeting Alyssa, and that gets his gears turning. Michael talks about wanting Alyssa to stay in the game because the showmance will be a bigger target than his 5 competitions, which is now 6. Don't know if I agree with him there, but the logic is sound that there's a chance of Alyssa and Kyle being a bigger target than him, and in some case, by certain people, they might be, just being a pair. Kyle seems rather receptive to that, and he talks about how Taylor's HOH has shifted from Terrence, or target has shifted from Terrence to Indy, and now to Alyssa, and he's being frustrated that he's left out of all decisions. 2 things on that. 1, Taylor's HOH gave me a lot more entertainment than I thought it would. I know a lot of people were happy just because we love Taylor. Some people love Taylor, and she's a queen and all that, and she is. But boy, was this such a train wreck of an HOH that it gave me what I wanted. It really gave me a lot, and I'm thankful that she stunk as HOH as bad as she did, because she Oh boy, was this bad. Like, not really. The way she went about it was bad. The nominations weren't great. And then the person who ended up going home doesn't really benefit her game at all. And Indy's the first member of the jury. And Indy's the last person, maybe Jasmine or Terrence, probably the last person to give her any strategic credit and just be bitter. I think Indy is going to be bitter at Taylor, even though she said, oh, it wasn't Taylor's fault. I think this is not good for Taylor because Indy's still going to, hey, you said you wouldn't nominate me and you did. And then you let me get sent home. So, yeah, not a good week for Taylor. She couldn't compete in this HOH with this ridiculous twist. Yeah, it's bad. She's in a bad spot. I don't know where she goes from here. But Kyle also being frustrated that he's left out of decisions. Well, when you're sitting in a room all day, lying in bed with a beautiful woman who's not in your alliance, you think your alliance is going to come and say, hey, get out of bed for a second. Stop fucking each other. Like, let's go. No. They're going to let you sit there and sink your own game. And Kyle's done that. Honestly, his game might be better off if he used the veto and sent Alyssa home. It might be, but no. Love does mysterious things. It really does. But all right, after that, Kyle, we see a very interesting cuts back and forth between Kyle talking to Joseph and Monty about really similar things. How he's frustrated that all week he wasn't really involved in the alliance's decision making. Well, I wonder why. Joseph says it straight up to him. Well, you're always together. And Kyle really notices the way that Joseph and Monty are talking to him, saying that, like, Michael warned me that Taylor's going after Alyssa. Joseph and Monty are pitching it, and they're giving me reasons why I should use the veto to take her out. So, yeah, Kyle's radar is going off immediately, as it should. And I love Monty trying to tell him that, saying that we initially left Alyssa off the block because Taylor wanted to keep the girls, but Alyssa taking the London trip away from Taylor made her think more logically. I don't know if that's true at all. It made her think, honestly, a lot less strategically and logically, and a lot more bitterly. And who does that benefit, though? Doesn't benefit Taylor. It might benefit Monty and Joseph if it worked. It didn't work, and we really saw the leftover lines start to fracture. And once the toothpaste has, you really can't put it back in. So we're gonna see how this alliance goes from here. But I doubt there's gonna be much long-term success, but we shall see. All right. And then after that, Joseph goes to Taylor and says, yeah, Kyle doesn't love the plan of taking out his girlfriend. And Taylor literally is just like, come on, why are you messing with my game? I want to make a big move. And then Michael comes in, and Michael is playing this about as best as a super fan, and really anybody can play this debacle within his own alliance. He's fanning that flame, saying, you know what? Just keep going. Keep attacking each other. I will sit on the sides and let you guys kill each other. And at the end, oh, look, I'm still here in the game and you're all in jury voting for me to win. But yeah, at this point, we go from really serious gameplay to, oh, let's get the first punishment because we really need to milk this and show all the punishments that everybody got because we have nothing else. So Indy gets the punkatard. The costume where she, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's a pink outfit with like little gadgets coming out of her head. And she has to wear this costume and give a performance where where she's either on the drums or the guitar and singing, and one random person in the house has to join her doing the other thing for one of 4 different songs. And it's very loud because Big Brother I will give them credit. They know how to do punishments decently well in terms of making everybody feel the punishment. They all hate it. Obviously, they make her play when she's sleeping, in the shower, having a headache. Doesn't matter. And I love Brittany talking about how the only place you can hear music is in the have not room and even in the diary room. But of course, you can hear it in the diary room. It's soundproof, but not really. It's right there. And Big Brother knew. Big Brother knew what they were doing there because they get that right, if nothing else. And yes, I'm very sorry Brent is not here too, but work schedules get in the way, and none of us are paid for this, so we're all just doing our best here. Yes, and if I'm lagging, I apologize. Just keep me keep me posted in the chat as the things go, and give me some questions. Talk to me. I'm recapping what was really the biggest dud, maybe the biggest dud of the season. So help me out. But maybe my favorite part of the episode really came when the leftovers are meeting, even with Kyle at the pool table, and they want to talk about whether Kyle should use the veto or not. Taylor starts by saying we should drag Indy and Terrence to be the last two outside of our alliance, which makes sense. Honestly, I want to bring them to the end of the game and be in a final three with them because I'm beating both of them, even if I really sat there all season. But Kyle talks about how he's going to try to make his pitch strategic because they bring up, who would Indy put up? Maybe Monty, maybe Joseph, maybe Kyle. And Kyle is trying to basically say in every which way that, we should keep Alyssa, and it's not just because I want to fuck her every chance I see her. I promise it's not that. But turn like Kyle's saying, and he's smart. He says, shut up. I'm going to shut up. Realize Alyssa ain't a threat to me, but Indy is, and really hope Kyle didn't use it. I'm not going to say a word because he's also going to stay out of the way in this battle. So good on Turner, good on Michael, good on Brittany. They've played this about as well as they can. And then Kyle doesn't want to back down, just that. So he asks what the risk is to using the veto, and Monty makes up some crap, some not, about saying, Indy's the obvious target and wants the alliance wants the leftovers to feel comfortable showing their cards, as they'll have to with Alyssa. Come on, Monty. Come on. They all can either none of them know it or they all know it at this point. That's not a good argument at all. It was just bad, and I get he's trying. But then he makes a good point in the diary room that Kyle's playing the showman ahead of his lines. No shit. Good job, Sherlock. Monty's learning how to play Big Brother. It's only taken him to week 6. But the campaigning for Monty, Joseph, and Taylor, we end up seeing that doesn't work. But Kyle says that the argument he'd have to make later about either keeping the nominations the same is a lot easier than the explanation of why did I use the veto to get my girlfriend out. But we get Taylor in the dining room screaming, "Come on," which felt like a very, very fitting way to describe this episode and the twist build up and all that. It just made me want to scream and say, "Come on!" I'm more annoyed with Taylor, but here's the difference. Taylor caused herself to be annoyed. I didn't cause myself to be annoyed other than deciding to watch this show. But you know what? We move on. Taylor's figured out maybe the right target because, she got to the right answer. Took her a while to get there, and boy, did she explode some dynamite along the way. But she got there. She got to the right target, in my opinion, because she's right. Indy likes her a lot. And Terrence really can't win a damn thing. If you don't want to get out Jasmine, probably best to get out Alyssa. Sure, maybe Kyle's a better target, and if he didn't win the veto, sure. But Alyssa would not have been a bad option. Really wouldn't be. But this is the episode of Big Brother where nobody really besides Michael knew how to play well, so Kyle talking about how he feels on the outs with Joseph, Monty, and Taylor. I wonder why. And Michael is enjoying everybody being upset at each other because that's how you play Big Brother. You're in the alliance. I want people to be mad at each other. They're not mad at me. It's the anybody but me strategy. Let them be mad at everybody else, and then they'll remember me. And it's amazing how a guy who just won his 6th competition would have probably been under the radar had he only won 5. Now he's not because he's HOH of 5 people, but that might have been smart for him to win as well. Yeah. And then it ends with everyone saying, oh, noms will stay the same. A lot we didn't see clearly, but no one's happy. And nowhere man 42 says they put Kyle in a shit spot, though, don't you think? Yeah, they absolutely put him in a shitty spot. Kyle also put himself there by being with Alyssa every 5 seconds. So they put him in a bad spot. They put themselves in a bad spot. This was just a week of misery loves company. And the minute Taylor, Joseph, Monty figured out they're not getting the way, all right, we're going to make Kyle look bad too. And Kyle fought back, did what he thought was right. So, yeah, no one's in a good spot here. No one's in a good spot. But after all that, we finally get the veto ceremony. But before we do, because it's Big Brother and also because we need to kill more time for Indy to play a song. Yay. 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 Oh, that was terrific. Kyle didn't use the veto. Surprise, surprise. His penis does more thinking than his brain. And yeah, honestly, maybe the right move, but I don't know. Just, yeah. And it wasn't good. But what came after was maybe even worse. Kyle goes into the storage room to put the veto away, and Taylor follows him and says to him, like, don't worry about this, and screams at him saying, you should have used the veto. And everyone hears it. They go along their merry way. Taylor is like, I'm kind of annoyed at him. I'm kind of not. Indy's obviously concerned and hopes her alliance keeps her safe. Whoops, the 5 swatters, not a real alliance, not really doing anything good for you. And Terrence talks about, I'm on the block again. I'm a veteran. Well, you're going to keep being a veteran after this week. Kudos to Terrence winning an HOH. Even if he didn't really win it, it counts. But after that, the five swatters meet, and Jasmine is shocked. Jasmine's like, what the hell did Taylor say? What happened? And she talks about being scared of Kyle not using the veto, Taylor screaming at her, and Monty not going up because, yeah, that's believable. That's believable. But, yes. Can we agree? Nowhere in Hand 42, my favorite person with the Batman avatar says, can we agree that Taylor was a terrible HOH? She was terrible in every department that wasn't entertainment. Oh, she was bad. Bad. This is the worst HOH of the season. And it's giving me Frenchie vibes from last season. The only difference being Frenchie was the first HOH, which you're supposed to be in a really good spot from that, and tanked his game and went home the next week. Taylor probably isn't going home immediately, but her chances of winning the game have gone down. And they've gone down fast. So, yeah, it was not pretty. Not pretty at all. But back to the episode. Taylor talks to Brittany and Michael. She's in a good mood, even though she didn't get what she wanted. And then Terrence comes in, and they say about nothing to each other. Cool. Kyle, Joseph, and Monty talk about him being Kyle and Taylor having this pretend beef. And then Kyle goes to Brittany and Michael and does, honestly, what one of the best things he could have done was he talks to them about the red flags he's seeing with Joseph, Monty, and Taylor. And he uses the word, says, quote, you can't get bullied into doing what's best for their game. Again, bully is a strong word. Probably shouldn't have used it, but the point gets across. And he wants them to realize, hey, we're the bottom 3 of this totem pole. The original alliance was me, Turner, Monty, and Joseph. And then we brought you 2 in. And then we brought Taylor in. Taylor has ingratiated herself really well with Joseph and Monty. And now you 2 and I are at the bottom, and we need to get Turner immediately. And Brittany's smart enough to realize that. So Brittany and Michael then talk about Kyle, how he previously pitched Monty, Taylor, and Joseph working, uh, linking up with Jasmine, Indy, and Terrence, and how he's worried about that, and no one else seems to be. And once again, late. This is late. This is very, very late. Kyle talked about this a week ago, but good on production for showing something a little bit problematic. And it doesn't make Kyle a bad person, but is he misguided? Absolutely. You really, even with what happened last season, saying that the six of the minorities in the house are going to band together just because they're not white. Yeah. Not a great thing to say, and obviously a worse thing to believe. And it doesn't make Kyle a bad person, but I just think he needs to learn. And I'm not the person to be talking more about that, but I like what Michael and Brittany had to say of, yeah, it would be very wrong of us to just assume that people are working together based on race. And if we're talking all the minorities, that it's not good. And Kyle agrees, saying, yeah, a race war would be good. But then it's like, but the cookout. And yes, I am very surprised they're showing this on the show. I'm surprised that they've showed anything that's a difficult or maybe controversial subject this season that they've showed. It's one area where they're moving in the right direction a little bit. They are taking baby steps, very, very baby steps. I will give them credit for them, but they showed a little something, and I'll take it. It's a start. It's not the end by any stretch. And then we cut to commercial. Before that, Julie has a line of her own. Kyle and Alyssa may be Big Brother official, but Taylor's about to get a ball and chain of her own. And I honestly forgot about the HOH the veto from the previous night. And I was like, it's talking about her hooking up with Joseph, but no. Well, it's her hooking with Joseph, but in a different way. So I talk about two separate HOHs, and we get back, and Julie with another interesting line. Alliances may be crucial to winning Big Brother, but for Terrence, teamwork makes the ink work. And this can show you how much of a nothing episode we had, that I was taking notes on what Julie had to say, cutting in and out of commercial, the scripted lines she was fed. But we're about halfway through. It's time for our second punishment. And Terrence shouts into the ether, everyone's outside, so no one hears him. Does it again. And simply put, he had to get 182 temporary tattoos. Honestly, this is kind of fun. I enjoyed this one a little bit. Not as long as the segment went on, but I enjoyed the punishment. Some of them were Big Brother related, like some ducks, some Zingbot, DB Fest, the logo, but first on his butt. Had some moments. Of course, he was called the middle of the night. And I love Terrence's line, what tattoo parlors open at 3 a.m.? Terrence, a whole lot of them. They want to capitalize on your drunk mistake. So, yeah, if you're going out at 3 a.m., yeah, Terrence is right. I don't get that too. And then we get to one of the most classic games ever, and one of the only things that Big Brother players can do, and that's chess. And I love how there's always been a chessboard in the house, because this season is on another level, but it really helps some players see the way that others treat the game of Big Brother and they treat the game of life. Because for the most part, you're going to try to play chess like Big Brother, because Big Brother's a real life and bigger game of chess in a way. But the best players are the ones typically who fake it, but fake it well. Joseph, he faking it well. He's taking the advantage of his meathead persona that he's built up, and he's calling pieces drummer boys. When Kyle and Michael are playing, and talking about how he'd seen checkmate a bunch of times, because yeah, you're a lawyer. I don't need you to know how to play chess, but if you just pass the bar, I hope you know that there's no piece called the drummer boy, which he does, thankfully. Then Michael is like, "Oh, I'm also down. I'm not playing my chess ability. Like I'm the only one." It's like, of course, you all think that you're amazing, but you know what? Just play chess. That would be a fun way to honestly have these teams decided, but no. And also, they wouldn't really know how to show it. I'd have fun with it, even if I don't really know how chess works all the fully. I would have fun watching it. And that's the way I could get my nerdy friends and roommates into Big Brothers. Hey, there's chess on TV. Come watch. But alas, we won't do that. We will not do that because nobody likes anything good in this world. And check, I don't believe we're getting feeds for a little while, but we still have no update on the teams that we will have. So, yep, no updates on that. Anyone who's asking. And all right. One more thing from this little segment is Kyle and Alyssa, because we need more love and ugh. And Kyle's like, for the 900th time, yeah, Alyssa, I can't spend every waking minute with you because I'm trying to play Big Brother and not really saying, hey, I'm a 30-year-old who doesn't have a job and I want to get out of my parents' house, so I really need to win this game. So he doesn't say that, but after all that nonsense and a segment drawn out way too much, Alyssa kisses him and their boyfriend and girlfriend. How long this lasts outside the house, I don't know. I don't doubt long, but I wish them the best. And I honestly wouldn't mind if they're in jury soon so they can fuck and I don't need to see it. Great. And Kyle tells the others about how he talked to Alyssa. And, isn't it sweet? Alyssa's a young child. And yes, she is a little bit younger than Kyle, but he doesn't mention the part of, yeah, and I also gave in to really everything she wanted. And then we get the last punishment, the skidded fancy punishment, where Taylor picks Joseph to be chained together. And yeah, I don't blame her for that call, but I blame her because she's playing Big Brother and not just who would look good stuck next to you. And yeah, sure, I'd pick Joseph too, potentially. If I'm playing Big Brother, no, I don't want to be next to Joseph. I want someone that I can maybe make a connection with. Somebody I have a connection with, but nothing big. So I can use this time to grow with them. Maybe they're on the other side of the house, so they could talk to somebody. But yeah. Taylor is talking a New York accent. That's not good. Joseph is talking a British accent. Oh, it was horrible. I could do both accents better than that. But yep. And then right before that, we get Taylor and Joseph playing Punkaroo, one of Indy's famous songs in Punishments Volume 24. All right, some questions in the chat from Mary. Why are so many people rooting for Taylor to stay with the Pound where honestly they would clip her before the final five and they would choose Brittany and Kyle over her? Okay, so for those who don't know, the Pound was the original alliance of four that formed, that being Joseph, Monty, Kyle, and Turner. And why are people rooting for Taylor to stick with them over, and how they would choose likely Brittany and Kyle? I guess Brittany and Michael is what they probably meant. And I don't know why. I think it's people want to root for the players that they like the most. And maybe it's like, sure, a lot of people I think want Taylor to win, but they also might be saying, I want Taylor to win, but I also want my favorites to remain in the game. And if you like people on the Pound better than not in the Pound, you want Taylor to stick with them, even if they're maybe worse for their game. But let's see. Taylor's best path is to commit to Brittany and Michael to make it to the Fountain of Four Terrence. That's interesting. I don't know if I want the both of them there. Actually, I don't really think I want Terrence there, but I then want two more people who aren't as aligned with each other, and it will pick me over them. Because Terrence has no love lost for Taylor. He's probably not looking out for. Yeah, he can't win anything, except maybe every now and then. But he's not looking out for Taylor. And that since I think Michael and Brittany look out for each other, or at least Michael's like, I'd rather keep Terrence than you. So, all right. And we're sorry about that. Um, yes. And okay. Ooh. All right. So let's see. Another one. What was with Terrence putting up Jasmine and Joseph to compete against each other in the knockout count? Doesn't he think they're both on his side? I think Terrence is smart enough to see that Joseph isn't with him. I hope he realizes that. So that's what I think, but we'll see. Let's see. And back to my favorite nowhere man. Okay, hard question. What is the best outcome we can hope for if we were fans of the leftovers? I mean, it depends, I think, who you're a fan of. It's hard to say I'm a fan of just the Alliance of 7, because if you want that Alliance of 7 to stick together, probably I mean, you'd want, like, Michael and Brittany to be HOH, but you got Michael, he's probably not gonna, like, ruffle any feathers, and you'd hope that he has, like in that instance, he needs at least probably 2. I think what he'd want is he'd probably want 2 of the at least 2 people with him, uh, and that way he has 2 votes, um, in his control, and at worst, he has one on the block and 1 voting, and with 2 people voting, he has ultimate control as long as he has 1 vote on his side. So, I'd say if you're rooting for a yeah, I don't know what the best outcome you can hope for is. I guess theoretically, Indy and Alyssa getting split up, and then you also put Kyle in that group with Indy, and in one group you get rid of Alyssa, the other group you no, sorry, Indy. Terrence, probably maybe Jasmine. I think, yeah, you want Alyssa and Jasmine split up, and Jasmine with Kyle. That way, Kyle has no way to help Alyssa. You send Alyssa home in one group, you send Jasmine, or maybe even Terrence home in the other group. And then the leftovers are technically 7 of the final 8, with the only person left being Terrence. And they're going to fracture at that point, but that's probably the best way you can get them to to escape the next week. That's as far as they're going to go, I think. Let me know if that answers your question. In the meantime, we come back from commercial, and Julie has a really long segment talking to everybody because we need to kill time. Kill time for a big reveal of nothing. Nothing. We got nothing. The house guests say hi, Julie, and hi, Rihanna. Apparently, Rihanna's a super fan. I don't know where they would have learned that. I didn't know that, but I really don't care what celebrities wants to show. She goes around to everybody not who didn't get a punishment, saying, "Oh, what do you miss from home?" And they all pretty much say their family and their pets. And Alyssa adds pretty sunsets in Sarasota, which I've been there. They are very pretty. I don't blame her for that one. And Turner misses his drugstore. Okay. Yeah. Julie talks to Terrence about his tattoos. That was nothing. Taylor and Joseph, what was the worst and best part about being tied up to each other? Got nothing there. And Indy, how was the punk guitar? Indy said a lot of nothing. And Julie's like, Punk has never looked more chic. Wow, we got nothing. We got nothing. And just when I thought maybe I should recommend the show to people, I learned again why I shouldn't. All right. So at that point, you think maybe we're gonna get a vote? Nope. We're gonna go to commercial, come back, and more about Terrence's tattoos and Jasmine's birthday, where they made a card with thumbprints like she's 5. Turner can't even fake his disinterest, which you got to be better at that. Come on, you got to fake it a little bit. And then Jasmine makes everyone say what are two of their favorite things about her. Ego, ego, ego. Good lord. Oh man, it would take everything in my being to be there, and not only to not to answer something, to not say, Jasmine, get off your high horse, and say it in probably worse words than that. But I'm not there. I'm not playing. Oh well. And then Taylor, then Joseph talked about how hard it is to be chained together. Blah 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 blah. And then Michael, another interesting discussion is when the leftovers are together. Michael says, "Oh, how did you all feel about me giving a sympathy vote to Indy?" Michael obviously playing jury management very well. But he tells them, and Joseph's like, "I want to do that," and Taylor's like, "Well, if you do that and you both do it, then we're at a tie, and I have to break a tie, and I don't want to be in that spot." So Taylor showing her bitterness again. I mean, these players gotta learn. She's vengeful. Even if it's stupid, she's vengeful. Don't mess with her. And then Julie, we got to commercial. Julie says it'll be the biggest twist in Big Brother history. The twist itself, okay. It's big. It's really big. But the hype again. All right. We get to the vote speeches. They all say Indy's the first Brazilian in Big Brother. That's really nice. Terrence says nothing again. But we go to the vote. Everybody votes for Indy to go except for Michael. Michael gives his vote. He throws a sympathy vote to Indy. Doesn't do a shout out again. I'm liking him more and more. And Jasmine tells Julie she looks pretty good and country fried steak. And Julie says, "Oh, I was expecting that." So okay. Indy's gone 7-1. And Mindy has a line of, "First, I need to look pretty before I you guys. I was with you for 45 days, 44, but okay." And as she leaves, she can't just leave. She has to give a long soliloquy of really nothing, but how she wants the most honest, loving, and most amazing person to win. It's gonna be fun if Michael's in the final two, and she thinks he was all honest and loving, and they're all like, "No, Michael played all of us. It's great, but he played all of us." So I'm interested to see how Michael and really everybody can navigate Indy. She's like one of the more interesting players we've had, and one of the more interesting jurors, because it's so much more interesting to me when you have to navigate a player who's not exactly logical. And I say that with all due respect to Indy. She just has different priorities and what she wants to see in a winner. But she's going to get a vote like the other 8 of them. The other 8 jurors will, and it will count just the same. So who's going to get it? I don't know. We'll see. But and then we get another commercial because we need more. And Indy's little exit interview. She was surprised by the vote. She thinks she aligned with the wrong people. Thinks Taylor's like, "Oh, Taylor didn't want to take me out. She had other priorities." Okay. Blames Kyle for this because he didn't use the veto when she picked him to play in it. And that, oh, if he had used it, Monty would have gone up. Okay. I don't know how anyone's still believing that one, but okay. She's frustrated that the 5 swatters, being Terrence, Indy, Alyssa. I'm sorry, no, not Terrence. Indy, Alyssa, Jasmine, Kyle, and Joseph. Wow, it's been a long night. I'm sorry. How they didn't have her back. And other people found out about that alliance today. Okay. And she said it's hard to be in a house where people are lying and manipulating. And Julie has a nice line about, "We tried Big Brother Brazil in season 1. It didn't work in America." Yeah. One of the only times you ever see them acknowledge their history, and they realize that correctly. The goodbye messages. Alyssa loves Indy. Terrence loves Indy. Monty had to vote with the house. Okay, sure. Joseph has a nice message. He tried to go as far as he could with her, hopes he can win for the both of them. I don't know if she believes that, but regardless, he tried. Taylor says she feels humiliated. That was not the plan, and asks her to put in a good word with the best sugar daddy. God, I've never heard that one. And it seems like it worked for Indy, so that's a fun one. And Indy might be the only player gullible enough to believe all the crap she's being fed. I hope not, but maybe. And Michael tells her everything about the leftovers, skip the name of it, and how he tried to keep her safe. We'll try to avenge her eviction. Okay, let's go with that. No, but fine. She says she's shocked, but knew about it because she has great intuition. I don't know. But at this point, I got through all the boringness. And when we're going to take a quick break, only about like 2 minutes this time. And then I want to talk about the interesting stuff, which is really everything that didn't happen in this episode. What this week could lead. So we'll be back in 2 minutes after a word from Manscaped.
Support for Reality After Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 12 million balls.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave.
Now, I have a dark shower curtain in my bathroom, and I've been looking for the perfect way to shave in the dark, kinda. Guess what? I found it! 4000K LED! No longer a problem. I got perfectly smooth, clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SURVIVOR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. And don't forget, for more exclusive Reality After Show coverage, visit realitypatron.com. That's reality, Patron.com.
Okay, and yeah, the ad first for me, so I didn't know it was over, but we are back here on Reality After Show. Thank you to Manscaped for that great ad. But now, the twist, the split house twist, what we are having is that 2 games of Big Brother will be happening simultaneously this week with our final 10. 5 people, including an HOH and 4 others selected by a schoolyard pick, will be playing Big Brochella because we have to come up with more stupid names for things instead of just saying somebody's in it. So 5 people are playing inside, 5 are playing outside. No, we have to come up with stupid names. So 5 are playing Big Brochella, 5 are playing at Direfest. Great. And they will have no contact with each other. They will be completely separated. And as a result, with 1 HOH, 2 nominees, you will have 2 people voting. So 1 vote will give the HOH the decision in this matter. And we get to the competition. It's called Do You See the VIP? And it's one of my favorite competitions. It's a face-off. I maybe want more quiz competitions than that, but then just seeing something, but fine. I'm just gonna. No one cares about the comp itself, but I do care about who picked who to face off because this is a little interesting. So it was Brittany and Terrence first. Terrence gets it right. He picks Joseph and Jasmine, which, as I said before, I think that could have made sense in the event he doesn't trust Joseph. Okay. Jasmine wins and eliminates Joseph, the only time that'll ever happen. She picks Turner and Monty to go against each other, which for her makes kind of sense. Turner wins that. Monty's out. He picks Alyssa and Terrence, not really hiding where his alliances are either, which I don't love. Terrence eliminates Alyssa. Terrence on a roll here. And then he puts Kyle and Michael against each other, saying, yeah, I know where I am. I'm not in a good spot. They're both very quick at the buzzer. Michael eliminates Kyle. He puts Jasmine and Terrence up against each other because Terrence needs to keep doing this over and over and over again to win something, but he does. Third time in a row, he's right. He eliminates Jasmine. Michael and Turner face off. Michael eliminates Turner, and so they're both HOH. And Terrence, the bad luck continues. He doesn't win anything, and honestly, if I'm Michael, I'm already HOH. I throw this. I don't care where I'm living. No, you know what? We don't need to say that I won the competition until the final HOH, final 2. Jury speeches, then it counts. Well, I'm in the game. No, I only won 5. I didn't win that one. I'm just lucky they let me come in second, but whatever. Michael's HOH in the house. Terrence will be HOH outside. And we will do the split by a schoolyard pick, which is great. But we won't show any of it because that'd be something you'd actually want to see. And we won't show it here. We won't show it on the feeds. And you're just going to figure out who's living where. And we'll do that Sunday. And it's going to be a week of split HOH, split nom, split veto, split everything. I don't know how they're going to edit this. I'm kind of excited, honestly. This is a twist that I think can work. But I'm really curious to see how these players choose, and I'm glad they get to choose. Always works out better when you give players a choice, I think. But let's see. And now I'm going to go to some questions. We've got a few. From Mary, is there a chance that Brittany cuts Michael? And for Taylor, and could Taylor beat both Brittany or Terrence, if I'm reading that correctly? I think Brittany could cut Michael. Not right now. Not anytime soon. And I'd worried he'd want to get her before she gets him. I think she could. She seems savvy enough. And could Taylor beat Brittany or Terrence? Right now, yes. I think she could. Does she have an easy path? No. Can she? Sure. I think they all beat Terrence. I think her bigger competition is Brittany. And it's a matter of who doesn't like her versus who just has no opinion about Brittany. Okay. Let's see. Jack Black's #1 fan account. What would be the most satisfying final 3 in your eyes, Alex? Okay. Well, I think about this 2 ways. Do I want a final 3 where it just almost guarantees the person that I want to win wins the game? And if that's the case, I probably right now want Michael to win. So give me Michael, probably Michael, Jasmine, and Terrence. I think that gives him the best chance now that Indy is out. But just in terms of really interesting gameplay, give me Michael. Let's go Michael, Taylor, and who's good? Michael, Taylor, and Alyssa. I think that there are 3 very different games, and I think they're all kind of on they will be, I think, on 3 sides of the house. So I think that could be really interesting. But I don't know what you guys think. Let's see. Nowhere Man, I'd like to know what Brittany said in her goodbyes is. I would too. Do you think she may have revealed the leftovers like Michael did? I'm gonna say no, but she very well could have, and it would have been smart for her to. Okay. Do a Michael Monty Founts who would be strong. I'm seeing that a couple times. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Maybe put Monty in there. I don't know. But it could be interesting. I doubt that happens, but you never know. Let's see. They could air the pick 'em live. hadn't been so much waste time. Yeah, this was the episode of Waste of Time. Nowhere Man again. I like this one. Scale of 1 to 10, how much will this HOH go to Terrence's head? Let's go 50. Terrence, this is gonna go to his head, and I am here for it. Oh, I'm here for it. I wanted him to win that final round so he could be in the HOH and really let it get to his head. He'd probably wear the robe. Oh, would have been fun. I still think a Terrence HOH would be fun, especially depending who he's with and who he picks. And I'm really curious to see what this pick is. It that the HOHs pick everybody, or is it I pick one person, you pick the next, like a chain? I hope it's that way. But I can see them being like, well, Michael and Terrence, you pick everybody. And there's some really interesting strategy there, which I will touch on. Let's see. I'm not even going to say this name, but Alex, just curious, who is your AFP vote as of right now? Ooh, AFP vote. It might be Michael. It might be Taylor. Might be Monty. Wow, this is tough. Since AFP doesn't matter, I'm gonna say Michael in the event that he doesn't win the game. Give him something. Let's see. Nowhere Man says chain for sure. Sure that because you saw it in the episode, or sure because you have faith in the Big Brother producers. I didn't see it in the episode, and I don't have any faith in the producers, so I would like the chain, but we'll see. Brittany not cutting Michael over Terrence would be an epic fail. Yeah, Brittany's in the end with Michael, and she doesn't cut him. I don't care who the other person is. She's an idiot and is going down in the history books for one of the worst moves ever. But what I do want to talk about now is the strategy of the pick'ems. And speaking strictly, if I'm the HOH at this point, and looking at it from Michael's perspective, who his first pick should be. You could say, just take the ally, make it Brittany. I don't know if I want that right away. I don't know if honestly, I think his best first pick is one of Monty, Joseph, and Taylor. I think maybe Monty, actually, because he has the option of taking out a big threat. Actually, no. Oh, do we have feeds back? Hold on, let's see. Checking at Hamster Watch. Do we have seen comments about the draw, but I have not seen anything from Hamster Watch, so I'm not going to believe any of it until I hear from them. So, yeah, I've heard nothing yet. Oh yes, I'm seeing spoilers. We'll see. Yeah, of course. Well, oh yeah. I see that where these are coming. According to Spoiler Girl, stop believing what you hear from them. Who the hell knows what these groups are going to be? And yeah, I want to see Kyle and Alyssa split up. Obviously, I want to see Joseph and Taylor split up. I want to see Monty with. But I want Monty and Joseph split up. Yeah, I want this to be interesting. But if I'm Michael, my first pick is probably. Ooh. I think I'm going Joseph, actually. Somebody who can maybe win a comp for me, but I don't have to win it. Who's in my alliance, but isn't like my best ally right now. And is someone who, if things go haywire and they get sent home, I'm not going to complain. But I don't want to take Brittany with my first pick and really expose everything. So I'd probably go with like a Joseph. Terrence would probably go. Who should Terrence go with? I almost think just take Taylor and say, like, you know what? You got me. Put me on the block. I mean, frankly, everyone's put him on the block, so it doesn't really matter who he goes with. But I just think Terrence should probably just get an ally first Whoever he feels is his best ally, just get them. Get them so you maybe have a vote. And I think Michael can achieve that without getting his number one in Brittany. Terrence, I don't think can. Terrence probably needs an Alyssa or Jasmine. I really don't know who he feels his number one is, but I think he needs one of them. And I would say with my second or third pick, then I get Brittany. And if Brittany's off the board, it's like, you know what? I think she's in a good spot. She can get me intel on what happened. That's probably okay, honestly. But it's like sure, would it be nice to have my number one ally? We could talk about it. But I want people on the other side that I can trust. I can trust wholeheartedly. It's like Survivor when you're going off on a reward. Do you bring your best ally with you? No, you never bring your best ally with you. I want my best ally on the other side getting me intel. And I'm probably saying to Brittany, I'm sorry you're sleeping outside, but go get intel. Yeah, honestly, if I'm Michael, I throw that comp. I sleep outside because then I can say, you know what, Brittany, hey, I not only I didn't pick you because I wanted you to be on the other side. I also gave you the better situation. So yeah, I think he needs to avoid Brittany. Probably get one of Joseph, Monty, Taylor. Probably get. I think you get Kyle on your side. And then I probably take. Maybe Jasmine. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Another question. But do you really think Michael is taking the chance, willing to take the chance of losing Brittany? Yeah, I think he is. I don't think there's much of a chance he loses Brittany. And that's why I think he could take that chance. And I think he'd be smart to. But we shall see. We shall absolutely see. There's a lot that goes into this. Do you take your number one ally and do you take them first? Where do you take them? How do you navigate this draft? If you know that you're having to do a school year pick, do you even want to win HOH in the spot? I might, because, if I'm in a group of 5, I want every bit of safety I can get. That's fair. But I don't know. I'm actually really, really curious to see how this week plays out. And if this twist sucks, we just never do it again. And I honestly don't know if we'll ever do it again anyway. But my goodness, what a letdown all the buildup was this episode. We had so much buildup all week. A 2-hour episode. Oh my goodness. Big twist reveal. And we got nothing. It's 11 p.m. on the East Coast when this episode ended. I got home right at 9 from work. I sat and watched Big Brother for 2 hours. Listen, it's a show I love. I'm glad to watch it. I watched filler. For 2 hours. I'm here talking until it's past midnight. I have to work in a few hours. Oh my God. I feel like banging my head against a microphone. This was so much filler of nonsense. And I don't know if Big Brother decided to have a 2-hour episode this week. But seriously, whether you did or didn't, you could have filled this with a whole lot more. You could have, at a minimum, showed us the picking. Maybe showed us like a little bit of interactions. Tried something. But nope, we get none of that. And I'm seeing Kim saying Michael should take Turner, Taylor, Jasmine, and Alyssa. I think I agree with it. I like this group. I might pick Joseph over Taylor. I might do that. But I like that group a lot. Put up Jasmine and Alyssa. I could see that. This is really interesting. This is really, really interesting. But don't know what. But this is fun. Mary, I see what Mary, Michael should trust Brittany abilities to get out from the block. She's not able to. She's not get out. Anyway, I could see that. Let's see. Anybody else have anything interesting they want to talk about tonight? Because I think I've covered a lot of it. We don't have We don't have feeds at this point. And no, I'm not trusting Spoiler Girl, whatever the hell they say. If it's not from Hamster Watch, I'm not going to believe it. And I'm not going to bother speculating on whether Kyle and Alyssa are together or Terrence is with who. I don't care. I'm not going to speculate. But when that does happen, talk about it. Tweet me at Alex Rubino. I'll talk about it. Not on Twitter much, but maybe I'll log back in. DM me, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. I don't care. Let me hear it. I'm more excited for a week that was built up so much and had such a letdown. I'm still excited for this week. I can't believe I'm excited for a twist, but you know what? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The really good players are not going to be hurt by this because the really good players have alliances with everybody. Even if they get put in a bad spot, I think they'll be able to get out of it. But we'll see. But I just want entertainment. Give me good feeds as the leftovers split up. I want them split. And let's keep going. The season's good. I can't believe it. The season's good. We're off to a very rocky start. It's not perfect by any stretch. It really isn't. But it's still Big Brother. And it's good. It's one of the better seasons we've had in a while. And yeah. This could be very interesting. Yeah. If Kyle, I'm seeing Kim, I love you. I love this thought of if we put Kyle and Brittany in a group together and then Michael and Alyssa in a group together, do they kind of just have an implicit Kyle's like I doing the little boss job of you take care of her, I'll take care of you kind of scenario. I'm curious. I'm really curious. And if at this point I think Michael's in an interesting spot if he has Alyssa on his side. Because Alyssa's something you could take out. And might be worth to take, especially if you don't have like a Jasmine in your group. But you have Kyle mad at you. And Kyle may have been your best ally to go against the leftovers. I don't know. I'm really curious. I'm just very curious. If anyone has any more questions, throw them at me. If not, I am going to take us home. Yes, if Terrence has Joseph in his group and Joseph wins Veto, he'll save Taylor. He could. Unless Terrence puts them both up. And he won't. And even if he does, I think that could be interesting. Does Terrence use the veto? Terrence. Does Joseph use the veto? Probably, but you never know. Who is Joseph more loyal to? Spoiler Girl in Vegas for sure. Yeah, it's just a new name for the same. Spoilers that maybe you're right, maybe wrong. Who the hell knows? But with that, those of you who listen, I really appreciate you. I know this wasn't the episode anybody wanted of Big Brother or of the Survivor after show, the reality after show, but it's what we got. Brent was working. Bobby's computer nearly blew up. I did the best I could, and I really appreciate everybody who's in the chat with me tonight, everybody who listens to this, and everybody who supports this great network. We're all doing the best we can here, and thank you all so much. If you want to become a patron, I believe the link is still ad-free, nsfw.com, for the time being at least, as the name of the show changes. If you want to check out more podcast coverage, Johnny Fairplay, Alex Triaz, and Dan Monchel, 3 great friends of mine, are talking about the Challenge USA every single week here on the Reality After Show. Typically, they do that either Wednesdays right after the episode or Thursday afternoons. And I recommend this season, the Challenge. It's my first time watching it. And there are players from Survivor and Big Brother and Love Island and The Amazing Race, actually, which is very interesting. And with that, we also have coverage of Survivor South Africa, Return of the Outcast each week, where there are 4 episodes per week. I can't do that much Survivor, and I love it to death. But Karen Coleman, Tristan Ninabar, and Johnny Fairplay can. So they are talking about that each week. The episodes typically are coming out on Fridays from what I've seen. But just be on the lookout for that coverage. And thank you all so much. You all are awesome for listening. Have a great night. And in the wise words of one of my favorite singers, Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye. Have a great night, everyone, and take care.
And for more reality NSFW content, visit adfreensfw.com.